Now, this book has a lot of things, but the introductory part has to do with your essence. So basically, it says that you as a person have an essence. Now, an essence is basically your you can be either sexually masculine or you can be feminine. Now, the book says that nowadays men are more feminine than women, or you're either neutral. And in most cases, in most relationships, the man and the women they're both sexual essence is neutral, so they end up having spiceless life. Do you understand? You get what I'm saying? Like they're not really happy, they're not really content, but they're just living. So what David Dida says is that if you are if your sexual essence is rather neutral, then and you want to be in either sides, first you need to decide which side you want to be on. Either you want to be feminine or you want to be masculine. In most cases, in 80% of the cases, as the book says, you would want to be a masculine man. And how you do that is by learning the man's way. Okay. So just I'll go on the introduction a little more. So David Dida says very clearly that people with the sexual essence of more masculine, they are in the most cases, in 80% of the cases, they're attracted to more feminine women. So what it says is that you are most probably, if you're watching this video, you are a masculine man that is more on the masculine side, or you're a neutral man and want to be in the masculine side. Now, addressing you people, there are some principles in here that you need to adopt, in which would set you on the path into being more masculine. Now, there's no guarantee, but even if you're working on yourself, that is pretty masculine. So there's really no off-putting advice in this book. So very simple things. Masculine sexual essence, you're either masculine or feminine. If you're a female, you should be feminine, and if you're masculine, you should be ideally masculine. But there's nothing wrong with being the opposite if you're happy with that. Now, anyways, what it says is that the first chapter of the book says, stop hoping for a completion of anything in life. Now let's see what it has. Alright, so the first principle in this book is stop hoping for the completion of something. This has to do with your happiness, what you enjoy doing. Maybe you like watching anime, maybe you like going out for dinner, maybe you like going on traveling, maybe you're like a traveler, an open soul. So what the book says is that if you are like that, if you hope for something, don't wait that will go out after the end of this year, after the holidays, or obviously if you have obligations, then you can't, you are bound. But if you're not bound, don't just let work just suppress your emotions, suppress your wants and desires. That is not something that is ideal, because you'll be waiting all your life, you'll be waiting for the completion of that task all your life, you'll be waiting to achieve a little more all your life. You'll never be satisfied as a man. So what David Dida says is that stop hoping that these things will complete and just do what you like. These, in most cases, for most men, these are going to be simple things. You want to watch your favorite anime, you want to go out with your girlfriend, you want to go fishing with your father. Just do it. Don't hope that I will do it after this, after that. So I'll tell you what I wrote. Like I asked you to write after what you recall at the end of each chapter or each page or each paragraph, whatever you please. So what I wrote was stop hoping that I will do that after this. It'll never come. The perfect time that I will do that after this time, after that time, it'll never come. Now this can be taken two ways. One, for pleasure activities. Second, for procrastination. This is a perfect example for procrastination. I will do this after. Maybe when I get a bike, then I'll start going to my job. Maybe when I have enough money in my pocket, when I have collected enough money from my pocket money, I will then invest in the stocks. Don't wait. waiting is not going to get you anywhere. Whenever you are waiting, whenever you're putting tasks ahead, you are procrastinating. Tell yourself that. That's all for chapter 1. Now the second chapter has live with an open heart, even if it hurts. What does that mean? I'll read you the little paragraph that they give after every heading of the chapter. Closing down in the midst of pain is the denial of a man's true nature. A superior man is free in feeling and action. Even amidst great pain and hurt, if necessary, a man should live with a hurting heart rather than a closed one. He should learn to stay in the wound of pain and act with a spontaneous skill and love even from the place. What this chapter has in bank for you is this chapter basically, even regardless of the heading and whatever, this chapter has to do with taking responsibility as a man. Whenever you make a mistake, whenever you lie, whenever you do something wrong, instead of trying to protect yourself, instead of trying to hide your mistakes, hide your blunders, instead take up responsibility, learn something and move on. The pain that you get from taking responsibility is going to charge you, is going to fill you up with masculinity, and it will help you moving forward in life. That's what this chapter has to do. Now the third chapter that I was talking about, live as if your father were dead. A man must love his father and yet be free of his father's expectations and criticisms in order to be free. Now this does not mean that you shouldn't take your father's criticism seriously. If your father is telling you to get off your ass and go work, you probably should do that. This means that a father expects perfectionism from his child. You are his offspring. He expects the best from you, and that is not his fault. But that does not mean that you should live by his expectations. You should live as if he were dead. Live as if your father doesn't care what you do. Enjoy your life. Be free. You're allowed to be your own person. Do what you like. And just keep grinding. As long as you're doing what you love, keep doing it. You don't have to satisfy your father's need. Your ambitions do not have to match your father's. As long as you're doing what you want, as long as you're doing what you think is right, if maybe you fail, maybe you will fail, but at least you would have learned something that will never go away. The fourth chapter is know your real edge and don't fake it. It is honorable for a man to admit his fears, resistance, and edge of practice. It is simply true that each man has his limit, his capacity for growth, and his destiny, but it is dishonorable for him to lie to himself or others about his real place. He shouldn't pretend he is more enlightened than he is, nor should he stop short of his actual edge. The more a man is playing his real edge, the more valuable he is as good company for others' man. The more he can be trusted to be authentic and fully present. Where a man's edge is located is less important than whether he is actually living his edge in truth, rather than being lazy and just being deluded. What this basically means is that there are different levels of masculinity. You can either be really masculine, you can be really sharp, you can be, grinding all day, not wasting time, waking up, going to the gym, coming back, working on your business, going for a walk, taking girls out, picking girls up and stuff like that. You get it. You can be at the peak masculinity, or you can be on the lower steps. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as you're thriving to go up. Now, what this chapter says is that you need to know which level of masculinity you are, and you need to cherish it. You need to live it completely. You need to fill it. You need to have it fill you up from the inside, and you need to own up to it. You shouldn't fake it. You shouldn't fake being someone that you're not. Obviously, you need to work up to being someone better than you are, but you shouldn't fake being someone else. Be authentic. People will appreciate it. Chapter 5. Always hold on to your deepest realizations. Eternity must be a man's home, moment by moment. Without it, he is lost, always striving, gasping at puffs of smoke. A man must be anything necessary to glimpse and then stabilize this ever-fresh realization and organize his life around it. I'll read you the first line of this paragraph. This is really beautiful. Make your life an ongoing process of being who you are. Make your life an ongoing process of being who you are. That is amazing, isn't it? what it basically means is that your life should in your life your precise and only goal must be to become who you actually are, who you actually think you are. Who you actually are is not who you presently are. Who you actually are is who you strive to become. And your life must be an ongoing process, a continuous process of becoming that person who you wish to become. Now the recall that I say is, I wrote, always remember your why and think into it while you do everything, while you breathe, while you go out on a run, while you work. Always remember your why you started this journey, why you wanted to become who you wanted to become. Never let that dry out, because when the day that dries out is the day you become nothing, is the day you become a loser.